We'll get started. We do just a little bit of breath and a little bit of mantra just to warm up. It's all right if you don't know the mantra, you can hum along. The main thing is you're just connecting in, relating, doing everything with a positive and open mind and heart, with a loving intent, humility, openness. Thank you for joining tonight. Welcome to all. We'll also have some opportunities to open up and share. I intentionally did not design any talking points tonight, since last time we met was a lot of talking points. Try to balance it out a little bit. That's on my end. On your end, pass around tonight, instead of a feather or stick, it's a stone we're passing around. If anything you feel called to share or feel called that needs to be released or whatever, encourage you to share, but at the same time, totally up to you. Don't have to share it all, just pass the stone along. It's all good. If you have questions or ideas or wisdom or whatever it may be, God bless. Sound good? Any questions? So take a couple of deep breaths in, a deep breath in through the nose, filling the belly. However long you breathe it in for, hold it for that same count, and then exhale for that same count as you connect in. The inhale, developing focus. The hold, looking within to see what intent. The exhale, to soften, to relax, to bring stillness. Deep breath in. If you're not used to it, or if you want to check, put a hand on the belly when you breathe in. Hopefully your belly is getting bigger. You want to make sure you're checking that. It's important. Keeping the same rhythm, the inhale and the ex. Checking in with your systems. One, to notice where you're at, but also to see the subtle shifts as the night moves on. The more you can notice the subtle shifts, the more you can build relations with them. Those subtle shifts are the pathway to divinity. The first mantra, calling out to creation and calling in to creation. The creator without, the creator within, all in one breath. The Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. So take a deep breath in. Bring your hands, please, if you don't mind, to heart center, because you're sealing in your altar with this. We're going to do it one more time. Take a deep breath in. settle down, checking in to see the subtle shifts. And now opening the hands gently up, cupping, facing upward, allowing your heart to open. What is the next mantra? Gonna take a Om Mani Padme Hum and end on the M being extended in the hum or the Om. Take a deep breath in. Om. Ahom. What's the rest of the mantra? So this is important. Everyone open your eyes for a second. You can release your hands. You are not here to follow me. Mm-hmm. So when I ask, what is the mantra? It should speak to you. For the ones that have come here before. But what you're doing, when I ask the mantra, you're going into your thinking minds, and so you're separating. If you go into your heart, it should naturally come up. Do you see? Because it should make sense for the energy that's there, and through the remembering that's put into your cells. And if it doesn't, then you can ask why, right? Because that's how you learn and grow. Right? It's just as natural for it not to come up so you can challenge it because you want to challenge it, because when you challenge it, you can say, is something wrong with that? It doesn't work with me? Or is there something where I can learn and grow and understand? Do you see? So it's really important that you're also finding it from within. So that way, when you come here, you're in a balanced state between receiving and giving. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's really, and I'm not saying this as a lecture and a technology point or a technical point to say, do this, don't do this. I'm saying this from the heart. Do you see? Because this is the way to balance things out in life. When you can open up because as long as you're thinking you need to get stuff outside of you, you're always thinking something's missing. And you're separate from it. But if you learn and start practicing to say, what if I did know? Then the teacher is always there. You see? So if you can practice that approach, it's a whole different approach than we're taught in school. But if you can try that out, it's going to feel weird a little bit at first, right? Because what you want to get really used to is, hey, maybe I won't know when it'll come up, and be just as okay with that. Do you see? That's the balancing of the energies. Inside of you is everything. You can go anywhere in the universe by going inside of you. Because inside of you, the true you, exists the soul of everything. Do you see? If you are going in and only looking for the stuff that you agree with, or the dark stuff that you try to hide from, that you're fighting the shadow things, what's happening is you're not seeing they're both the teachers to show you that everything is in you. Because if you can see everything in you, and you can accept that, then you can see it in every other person. Do you see? And then there's nothing to fear anymore. Every single thing that you greet then can be done with that reverence. Okay? So we're going to do it one more time. We're opening up. See, when you open up, here's what you're doing. See, we went like here because we're sealing the altar. And now we're going like here because we're opening our hearts up. Do you see it's running all the way through it? But we're doing it with soft hands, soft here. Do you see it's fully opening up? Do you see? Because what this one is doing is drawing a line between the head and the heart. Do you see? They're both important. Okay? Take a deep breath in. Om Mani Padme. And then gently allow your hands, close your eyes, and look within for a minute. Find a focus point. Settle into that focus point. Just one more minute. Keep focusing. If you fall off, it's all right. Gently bring yourself back. As you're ready, you can open your eyes again. Thank you. I'm going to pass the talking stone around in a moment. If you can, at a minimum, just share your name. And if there's anything else you would like to share, feel free. So as you're looking in, you're practicing the concentration. That concentration is what can help you out in your day-to-day lives, and it's what can help you out in working through your lessons and tapping into the early stages of service. But as some of you experience a little bit, if you can focus in purely into that point, wherever you're focusing, what will naturally happen without you trying to make it happen is an expansion. That expansion is taking you from the stage of concentration into meditation. That is going from the work on the personal self to start looking through the soul's lens, to give you the support system. Yes, thank you. Thank you everyone for sharing. Do a meditation in a minute. So with some of you in here, we've done beginning steps of some one-on-ones. And as those develop month to month, and we start getting more specific in the stuff that arises, one of the foundational pieces of that is to try to bring your presence within the struggles to see that, wow, those things are exactly designed as they were supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Do you see? Mm-hmm. So, for instance, with Jen, if you look at the stuff that we put in there, the very specific thing that was mentioned for your path was to have these moments where you have something where the system gets broken, to where you're in a thing and then the thing gets turned upside down. And so what I mean to say is, I'm not trying the point of how do you deal with it or process it, but what I'm saying is you can start seeing those things as perfect. Do you see? So when they come up, instead of seeing them like a problem, you can also see them like, oh my God, this is miraculous. This is exactly what is supposed to happen. This is exactly what I need. Do you see? The whole idea is, for every one of us, that's a different thing, but the energy is the same. It's got to be something that touches to you personally, or it wouldn't get your attention to show you where you're not free yet. Mm-hmm. Do you see? So it's a godsend, literally. Do you see? We very specifically named pressure. Correct, Lauren? And then you speak of dealing with pressure. And so the idea is, just when something stirs you, to be able to pull back and see it in the presence and say, oh, that's perfect. I don't know how the hell I'm going to deal with it maybe yet, but you see, if you're starting from that perspective, it becomes just a little bit easier. There is no flaws. Nothing is broken. There is nothing to fix. Do you see? You're just remembering the completeness of who you are. Makes sense, kind of? Mm-hmm. And we all do it in our own way. Mm-hmm. That's the beauty. Mm-hmm. So, one of the reasons that we've never had the same meditation in 7 years is because the meditation is just the thing. But that's not what meditation is. As long as you're doing a meditation, you're separate. It's a relationship. And each one of you gets to define how that relationship may be. You can make your relationship with anything, and that thing can help you if you look at it that way. And remember, that thing is kind of a training wheel, that technology. But as long as you work it that way, eventually that training wheel becomes the crutch. Because you're staying separate. The idea is with humility to make relations with it to where it can start to teach you behind the thing, the spirit that brought that symbol to you. You say you want to translate the symbol. It's not the thing. The things are all, they're just personal to us. You meditate this way, you meditate this way. You read that book, you listen to that teacher, you listen to that podcast, you work with that candle. They're all the same. They can get you to a path of finding it from within, building your confidence and support system. That's what the technology, the knowledge is all about. You see? Go behind it. To be willing to stay humble, that there's opportunities to learn and grow. There's always new levels of understanding what is standing under. Right? That's the idea. So play with it, have fun. See if you can embrace the struggles and the darkness as much as you do the things that you describe as pleasurable and desired. You see? Find the balance. And then you can release it. But first you got to find the balance. So the next one is going to be a guided meditation. You feel free to lay down if you like. This one, we're going to go on a little journey. You can also choose to not listen. You can choose to just go into your own flow, however you like. You can, don't feel bad if you find yourself like, oh my God, I'm not paying attention. Don't worry about it. It's not that important. Do you see? But we will take you through a viewpoint, there's a eh, perhaps a moral approach that you can explore, maybe to help you into the coming days ahead. But if you can, give yourself permission. If you would like to focus, then set that intent as you go into your meditation that you want to concentrate, that you want to follow the flow, to see where it might go. Giving yourself permission to be present, letting go of all the words that we just shared so you can be a blank slate with an open heart. If you feel safe and warm, then I invite you to close your eyes for the journey. I think this meditation is maybe 10 or 15 minutes. If you feel like you're going to snore and you would like your neighbor to not have to listen to it, then ask your neighbor to give you a little love tap. If you start to thunder, bringing your attention to any contact points, your body touching the ground, the couch, the pillows, your clothes, the air. Letting the ground comfortably carry you as you begin to settle in. Allowing yourself to begin to breathe a little bit more gently. No forcing or controlling, just allowing the breath, however it may naturally be. Becoming more subtle. Now, in your own way, let your body know for the next few minutes it can rest while your mind stays alert. There's nothing needing to be solved, nothing needing to be fixed. Allowing your shoulders to drop. Your jaw to loosen, the belly to soften, feeling the breath moving like a gentle tide. In and out. In and out. Bring in the imagination. Imagine that you're preparing yourself to go to sleep. Not the sleep as an unconsciousness, but the sleep as a doorway, a gentle threshold between timelines. Imagine yourself laying down for that sleep, comfortable, supported, and safe. Feeling the weight of your body settle as the mind finds stillness, as you enter and offer a simple intention. Show me what matters. Show me what I already know, but forgot to remember. One more slow breath in. And as you exhale, imagining you are drifting into that sleep, that will take you to another timeline. Like a feather settling into still water. Within this dreamlike space, time begins to soften. And without effort, without strain, you begin to move forward. Not as a rush or a leap, but a natural unfolding through time, drifting forward, moving to a point 20 years from now. Awakening to that time point 20 years from today. Notice what it feels like to come to consciousness in this future crisp morning. Sitting in your bed at your future farmhouse that you own. Noticing the temperature in the air, the quality of the light, becoming aware of your body at that point in time. It is your body, it's just a little bit older. Not in a scary way or a tragic way, just older, more lived in, more seasoned, and more real. And you stand up to get out of that bed. And with familiarity, you begin to walk slowly towards the front of your farmhouse. Stepping onto your front porch, go to sit in your favorite chair. Take a moment to just sit there and take in the views. Looking down at your hands, noticing the lines in them, written as the stories in your life, softly in the skin, feeling the air upon your face, looking upon the world in front of you, the trees, the neighbor's home, the sky, the quiet rhythm of life dancing before you. Sitting there in that future moment, another detail comes in that's very specific. You have accumulated. You have millions of dollars in the bank. It is there right now, safe, accessible, and real in that moment in the future. You also have many possessions, nice ones, things you acquired along the way to help you feel more secure, more successful, more complete. Allowing yourself to feel the impact of all you've accomplished, accumulated. You've made it in a way the old you might have fantasized about. Now sitting on the porch, you begin to ponder life. Not as a performance, not as an achievement, just life. You scan the years in your mind, the choices you've made, the choices you've avoided, the risk you took, the risk you postponed. The people you've kept close, the people you've lost along the way. Moments that mattered. And then, like lightning made of clarity, a realization occurs. A clean, honest truth. You realize you would give every dollar, every possession, every symbol of success. You would trade it all if you could come back 20 years to this very day. The one right now, sitting here in this meditation. Just to have your youth again. Just to have the state of your health and energy again. To have time again. Another chance to live these years with more presence, more courage, more love, and doing the things that perhaps you were too scared to try. Allow that to sink in. Let your future self feel it fully. Not as drama, but just as honesty. And now, from that porch, your future self speaks to you here and now, not in words that you strain to hear, but in a knowing that lands in your chest. Your future self shares, you were rich then too. You understand what that means. You were rich in time, rich in possibility, rich in fresh mornings. Rich in the chance and the choices to do differently, and the opportunities to live the story on purpose. And then your future self offers you a gift as a question. Do you want to come back to this moment, sitting here in this meditation? And you can feel the answer, the yes, coming up. because you do not want to waste the moment sleepwalking for the next 20 years. You want to return with a lease on life, with a willingness to make these years count by taking the time to live each day, not in a frantic way, but in a true way, in a wholehearted way. So you take one more look from that front porch, allowing the scene to imprint itself. And then very gently, you begin to drift backwards, not with force or with fear, but with gratitude. Drifting backwards through time, the 20 years, returning to this very moment here today. And as you return and you're here in your current body, on this current day, something subtle has shifted, not because the life outside of you has changed, but because your heart and your eyes have a broader perspective. Because you have felt in a way deeper than thought what you would trade for this moment. Now, either imaginatively or literally placing a hand upon your heart or your belly or wherever it feels grounding, quietly acknowledging, I am here. And then adding, I want to live these next years in a way my future self will say thank you to me for. I want to live these next years in a way that my future self will thank me for. And now we shift into a gentle agreement with your inner instruments in this present moment, your body, your feelings, your thoughts, all set to inform you, to serve you. With this understanding, you do not need to fight your past, nor do you need to erase the history. Your memories can remain, but now so as the informers instead of the narrators directing your life. Allowing yourself to come to a new decision that you will no longer let the old stories be the only stories your body replays in a continuous loop. Because your body learns through repetition. It anchors the images you feed it. It follows the scripts you recognize. So now, gently and kindly speak to your body. You can say this silently to your body. Body, thank you for protecting me. Thank you for remembering what mattered. You can keep these memories. And I'm also going to feed you some new stories. Not fantasies to escape reality, but visions to guide a new reality. With new scripts, creating new anchors. With new emotional rehearsals that will help me become who I want to see myself becoming. So invite in your imagination to awaken. Imagination is not childish, it is directional. Your body does not know time. So imagine yourself as a way for the future to communicate with the present, feeding your body a new story that can be broadcast into your field. So with imagination, now we carry ourselves to 5 years from today. Not 20, just 5. Close enough to feel real, far enough to require growth. Picture yourself 5 years older, standing in your life. Notice your posture, your face, your eyes. What do your eyes look like when you've lived 5 years with fewer regrets? What does your body feel like when you have steadily cared for it? What does your energy feel like having lived a life of authenticity? Adding coloration to bring it to life. Seeing the environment around you in 5 years. Where are you living? Spending your time? What kind of mornings do you awaken to? What attitude do you choose? What quality of relationships? Will you still be a part of this community? Or perhaps leading your own? What is the tone of your inner world? Most importantly, what choices did you make to get there? Not huge, perfect choices, but simple day-by-day ones that a human would make. Choices like, I told the truth sooner. I rested before I burned out. I stopped abandoning myself. I asked for help. I forgave. I accepted. I freed my future, no longer anchored by the past. I followed the quiet nudge and practiced what mattered consistently. Now allowing that 5 years from now self to turn towards you. Let that person look at you with warmth. They're grateful for what you have begun. They want to thank you for this new story you've created. Understand this new story is not imagination. The imagination is the beginning. It is the choice you repeat and repeat until it becomes your reality. And then bringing that story into your current body as you meditate in this room. Asking your body to feel it, to incorporate this small taste of that future. Not the whole thing, just a seed that is beginning to be planted. Feeling it within you, what does it feel like in your chest to live with more courage? What does it feel like within your belly to have more steadiness? What does it feel like in your throat to openly express? Within the face, feel more peace. Allowing the bodies to sample these feelings to where it becomes familiar. Because what becomes familiar becomes easier to choose, to live. Then we're going to anchor it in with a simple phrase. You can choose your own or follow this one. A short sentence to return you into daily life. Something like, today is the day that I no longer would want to trade. Today is the day I step forward. Now allowing the images to fade as you bring your attention back to your breath. Again, feeling the surfaces beneath you that your body is contacting. Bringing your attention to the space of this room. Remembering you do not need to change everything today. You only have to begin with one honest choice. One new story that replaces the old. One act of presence. One first step. One new breath of life. And then as you're ready, coming back to the room, beginning to wiggle the toes, the fingers, rolling the shoulders. And as you're ready to come back online, opening the eyes, greeting the world in front of you, making sure to notice the difference between a rested body and an alert mind. It's a very important practice. Allowing the body to rest, but not dictating what the mind does. Developing that discipline. Choosing what you want in the long term versus what might be the easiest right now. That is your discipline. That is the choice. Opening up to the circle, we're going to pass the stone around again. If there's anything you'd like to share, please do. If not, you can just pass it along. I want to just point out just a couple things and we'll close out for the night. For any of you that perhaps went to look into the 20 years and decided, I'm not sure if I will be here in 20 years. Remember that death is not a period, it is a comma. So all that will happen, you'll enter into the eternal where there is no time. And then if you're uncoded to come back, then that time will start back up and it'll build off of what you did in this lifetime. So it matters not. What matters is that we're moving in this realm towards a universal love and a radiant being. We wonder a lot about service as we start tapping into it, and you got to remember that the most important service is being willing to look within and find the biases and find balance and acceptance, or in a way what Frederick was pointing to, which is forgiveness, to where you no longer are projecting stories to where you can't be in the new moments because your old moments are projecting onto it. And so forgiveness is the only way to negate karma. Forgiveness doesn't mean you forget the story or that the pain goes away. It just means that within faith you say, hey, I believe there is something bigger than my personal concern or judgment. And I'm going to put my faith into that. Forgive means to give for. And so you're giving to that rather than trying to hold or take. Do you see? But the wild thing is, the service isn't something that you have to worry about doing. Right now, what's important is not what service you do, but the choice that you make with your intent in every moment. The choice that you make with that intent is your trajectory. And that is what matters now, not what you do. Do you see? Both trajectories, whether you choose to go towards love, freedom, acceptance, or you choose to go towards control, absorption, those kinds of things matter not. They're both rooted in love. What you'll see, for instance, is there are beings and people in this plane and others that choose to go towards the control and manipulation side. Those beings, what's neat about it is they cannot, in this realm, impede your free will. So the way that they come in to try to manipulate or control through you is they have to come in through wherever there's cracks. within you. So your pride, your fear, your doubt, whatever it may be, they'll come in through that. But do you see, although they're seeking to control, because that is their path, they are also serving you. They're showing you where the cracks are, right? Do you see? So either which way, love works out. You need those there, right? We, on the love side, we think, oh, let me go fix these things, or let me help those dark beings, right? Then what are you doing? Are you being freeing or controlling? See, so in your own way of loving, you're doing what you thought they shouldn't do, which is control. Do you see how they feed each other and how it works? It's easy to agree with and love the things that you think are right, but how about the things you think are wrong because you don't see the big picture, perhaps? Those dark things are needed to help stimulate change, to look at things and to build character. Do you see? There is love beneath everything, right? When you have those nightmares, as long as you keep trying to resist them or call them bad, they will return. When you learn how to love them and accept them, not in a way to trick them to go away, it has to be sincere. When you do that, all of a sudden, poof, they're gone. Do you see? So it's always, the teaching is always there. It's all the same, no matter what energy you want to call it. That's the beauty of it. Take a moment to see the energy going out into the world, the loving work that you've done today. We thank you for helping bring in, open up, and then bringing that energy back to within your heart, to your sacred space, sealing off that special space that's just for you. That clear space from which you can work and understand and see and move beyond to a greater responsibility. Remember, responsibility on the personal side, you think it's action. On the soul side, responsibility is the ability to respond. Do you see? Thank you, thank you, thank you. We wish all of you have a great week. If you're around this week and would like to come to the Sound Bowl on Sunday, please do. Sean will be facilitating it. Come out and support him and tune in. Have a great week. God bless. Get home safely. Thank you.